The script is a collection of several humorous and emotional storylines involving the Friends characters, especially Chandler, Monica, Joey, Ross, Rachel, and Phoebe. The main focus is on relationships, friendship, insecurity, and the funny ways the characters try to deal with their personal problems. At the beginning, Chandler and the others are trying to figure out how to help their friend with relationship problems. They jokingly decide that they have not been very good at acting like stereotypical guys, so they try a different approach. Instead of giving advice, the women encourage the men to talk about their feelings. Chandler eventually admits that he does not actually want a casual relationship with strippers or random women. He wants something meaningful, which leads to more jokes about his fear of relationships. Another storyline involves smoking. Chandler wants someone to quit smoking, so he brings a hypnosis tape that is supposed to help. The hypnosis session is full of exaggerated suggestions about becoming confident and independent without cigarettes. The friends make fun of hypnosis throughout the scene, turning what should be a serious attempt to quit smoking into another ridiculous situation. Chandler also discovers that several people originally assumed he was gay. This makes him curious and slightly insecure about what gives people that impression. His friends explain that he has a certain personality or quality that can sometimes make people think that way. Chandler becomes determined to prove that he can attract women. However, when he tries to find out what makes him appealing, the situation becomes increasingly awkward and funny. Joey has his own embarrassing problem when he gets his eyebrows shaped for professional headshots. Unfortunately, only one eyebrow gets finished because the process hurts too much. Chandler helps him fix the uneven eyebrows using his unusual experience with grooming. Chandler carefully shapes Joey's eyebrow and makes both sides look similar. Afterward, the two realize that they have spent a surprisingly girly amount of time together, so they joke about doing something more traditionally masculine afterward. The Christmas storyline centers on Monica hiding presents. Joey and Ross make it a tradition to search the apartment for their Christmas gifts every year. Chandler initially refuses to participate because he believes they should respect Monica's privacy. However, the others convince him to help. They eventually discover the presents, but Chandler stops them from opening them. He explains that he wants to experience the surprise properly and see Monica's reaction when he gives her his gift. His reaction shows that despite all his jokes, he genuinely cares about the meaning behind Christmas and his relationship with Monica. Another funny storyline involves Chandler and Joey choosing tuxedos for the wedding. Rachel helps them find expensive celebrity tuxedos. Chandler discovers a tuxedo that he believes was worn by James Bond, while Joey thinks he has found Batman's tuxedo. Both become extremely excited about wearing famous tuxedos at the wedding. Chandler wants his James Bond tuxedo to be the most impressive, while Joey wants to wear the Batman tuxedo. Eventually, they discover that Joey's tuxedo was not actually worn by Batman in the movie. It was simply worn by Val Kilmer to another movie premiere. This completely ruins Joey's excitement and becomes another source of comedy. The script also explores Chandler's difficulty expressing emotions. Monica notices that Chandler rarely cries and worries that he might be emotionally detached. Chandler tries to prove that he can become more emotional by reading sentimental material. Monica reassures him that she doesn't care whether he cries, because she knows that he still has strong feelings inside. She explains that she loves him for who he is, not because of how dramatically he expresses his emotions. Their conversation becomes surprisingly heartfelt when Monica imagines important moments in their future, such as getting married, having a child, and eventually growing old together. She tells Chandler that even if he doesn't cry during emotional moments, she knows he will still care deeply. Chandler finally feels reassured that he doesn't need to change his personality to be loved. Meanwhile, Joey is dealing with the aftermath of a breakup and feels like he no longer knows how to interact with his former partner. Phoebe tries to help him understand his feelings, but the situation becomes more complicated when Joey develops a crush on Rachel. Joey insists that it is only a temporary crush and that it will eventually disappear. However, his friends realize that his feelings might be more serious than he wants to admit. Eventually, the group discovers that Joey likes Rachel. This creates an awkward situation because Rachel has a complicated history with Ross, and Ross is one of Joey's closest friends. The characters are surprised by the development, and Joey knows that acting on his feelings could create problems within the group. Overall, the script combines relationship problems, friendship, wedding preparations, insecurity, misunderstandings, and emotional growth with the sarcastic humor that defines Friends. Chandler and Monica's relationship is particularly important because they are learning how to accept each other's differences. Joey is dealing with unexpected romantic feelings, while Ross, Rachel, and Phoebe become involved in the resulting complications. The overall message is that people do not have to fit a certain personality type or express emotions in the same way to have meaningful relationships. The characters constantly tease one another, but underneath the jokes, they genuinely care about each other and try to support one another through difficult situations.